At 23 years old, I was a complete failure. And I want to briefly share this story with you today, not because it matters that I was able to do what I did, but it matters that you can pull yourself out of whatever hole you've dug yourself into. Because if I can do it, then you definitely can. At 23 years old, I was massively overweight. I had an insane drinking problem and a terrible habit. I was completely financially in debt, and my life was going absolutely nowhere. Well, maybe that's not true, because it was going directly into the gutter. What caused me to change wasn't desire or wanting to go somewhere, it was wanting to no longer be in the depths of hell that I was in. And it started when my dog died. My dog died. I was having withdrawals, severe symptoms of anxiety and depression tied to substance abuse issues, and being extremely, extremely unhealthy. I had a diet that was, shouldn't even be able to be called a diet. Terrible consumption habits across the board. I was a human wrecking machine. I had nothing going for me. And once my dog died, I just sat around in this miserable state. I remember feeling the depths of pain and misery, waking up with cold sweats and withdrawals, but no longer was the substance giving me any sort of redemption or value that maybe it had briefly given me before. It didn't take effect. And when it did, I just felt like my body was giving out. I had to take more and more to get less and less, but to get more detrimental effects in return. And I could feel myself that if I was going to go on this path, there was just nothing left. And when my dog passed, I just remember sitting there crying just repeatedly for days. And it was this severe depth of pain and misery. I didn't know what to do. And I ended up just deciding to run. Like, I was 270 something pounds of just straight body fat, body odor, alcohol, and opiates. And my tubby ass on my lunch break at work walked outside the building and just ran up a hill in Timberland work shoes with composite toes on them. I just clobbered up this hill, sweating, panting like a fucking dog. And I remember how terrible that running was so little in comparison to how terrible I felt, that it was relieving in a way to understand that I was choosing to put myself through some kind of difficult challenge that was not this self-inflicted misery to a level that cannot be explained if you don't go there yourself. And it was this act of just choosing to run that began to steer my life in a different direction. Now, this is crucial because many of us don't get to that level of complete misery. And that's actually just as dangerous because it doesn't give you that feeling of no other option than to either turn it around or just fail and pass away. And so when I see people and I see them caught in this trap of following what others are doing, maybe seeing what people are doing on Instagram or TikTok, and they decide how they're going to spend their weekend or their evenings, and their life just ends up wasting away. And I think about the fact that most people think, well, at least if I'm stagnant and I'm staying in the same place, I'm not moving downwards. But the world, the universe moves in an upward direction. We're constantly improving and building as a society, as humanity. So if you are staying stagnant, well, you're not actively moving downward, but you're still staying at a level that is increasingly lower and lower on the scale of improvement and success. And when I think about humans being fulfilled, I can't think about a fulfilled life without a level of self-improvement or improvement collectively as a community and a group, right? Even if you are accepting that, well, I don't want major success, financial success, but I want to have a family that is secure and stable and happy. Well, I think that's still improvement as a group and as a personal self, because you're reaping really like what is the epitome of human satisfaction and gratification. Whereas the person who is chasing extreme wealth and business success, they're doing it in a different way. It might not be as deep and spiritual, but they're still seeking something on the long end. And when you're doing nothing, you're spending your weekends at the bar, you're spending your weekends partying, you're spending your evenings staying up watching fucking TikToks and shit. I no longer can understand that. I have zero connection with the thought of even desiring that, because what I want is to get better. I want other people to understand you can get better, and that what seems like something that is difficult doesn't seem like a worthy trade-off, because you think about the fact that what if I put in years of work and then I just get nowhere? Well, it is inevitable that you get out of whatever pit of hell you're in if you continue to work for years and put in the steps daily. And my journey has made me undeniably believe that if you just continue, even if you doubt yourself along the way, if you just put in the repetitions every single day, you will be so exponentially greater than you are right now that you won't understand even the type of person you were before, because it's so tied off from the person that you are today. And you can think about it as a bad thing. You can think about the worry of, what if I don't succeed? I mean, what if you don't try? Well, that's terrifying, because you're just accepting complacency and no movement forever, right? The trade-off is you get to be better than you were yesterday, and you get to continuously improve. And it is well confirmed through scientific studies that human beings who enjoy the process and get the dopamine hits along the way to a journey have better lives, because it's getting the goal that is satisfactory. It's not having it. So if you're constantly trying to improve and work towards a goal, eventually you get that goal, and then you get another, and then you get another, and you build on it, and you build on it, and all of a sudden life is worth it. Whereas when your goal is just, how drunk can I get tonight? How high can I get tonight? There's really no satisfaction to that. You might be convinced, you might be misconstrued, you might dangerously let others make you believe that how you're wasting your time is something good to do. And that's a scary thought. And now I feel completely comfortable cutting myself off from the world, because I don't desire these short-term gratifications. I have zero desire in my mind to spend time with people that just want to waste it. And you should be concerned, at least, if people are trying to convince you to waste your time. Now, you want the connection with them, you want those friends, okay? That's your choice. But along the lines, one day you will pay for that. It is just inevitable. If you aren't creating financial security, long-term financial freedom, freedom in the terms of health, mentally, physically, then you are going to be weighed down one day, because that's a debt you will have to pay, and it is guaranteed. I will have to pay the debt one day for the years I spent drinking myself to sleep and ruining my body. That is inevitable. It is there. It is ingrained. But I've worked so hard to reverse it that I at least have some kind of battle in that aspect. I have adjusted my timeline, because by now, if I had carried that out, I would no longer be here. It is guaranteed. I think about the nights I spent in the hospital from my own actions. I spent nights in the hospital because I just consumed pills, capsules, drinks. After everything I did, I still did it again. I mean, that's human nature. We're creatures that continuously just consume and absorb and consume and absorb. But it will destroy us. What I'm telling you today is simply that however far you've dragged yourself down, you can reverse it. It will not seem like it. You just have to understand it will take time, and you just have to put the steps in every day. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Sometimes it will feel like absolute hell, but once you start to move, it is still better than the absolute hell that was your bottom. And that is a good thing. Life will consistently improve if you maintain consistency. And it is so much better than just accepting whatever position you are in and ignoring the ability to improve. Because if you give yourself an excuse, right? If you say you want a goal, whatever that goal is. And you are willing to say, well, I mean, but XYZ is going to make it so I don't get there. Well, then you don't want the goal that bad. But if you can say, well, XYZ is going to make my timeline a little longer and it's going to be difficult. I'm not sure how I'm going to get over it, but I'm going to try to do it with certain variables that maybe can help me overcome it. Okay, well, maybe you desire it. Maybe you truly do. You are a human being, and the ability for your mind to shift and change and commit to something long term is stronger than you could ever imagine. So keep going. If you want a better life, it is out there for you. There is a reality for your life out there that is beyond your comprehension. I promise you. And I can promise you that because there is a version of myself out there that I have destroyed. And now I am someone different. If you're struggling, I believe in you. Do not fucking give up.